Now the final thing we have to do is create our own message types and message data types. As a reminder, within our service operation we will have to create two message types, one for the request and one for the confirmation. Each of those message types will reference a message data type. This message data type will then hold reference to our own BPS rec customer data type. And for the confirmation message, we also have to include a obligatory log data element. And this BPS rec customer data type will reference the name, the address, the email, and the phone data types which we created earlier. Now for this demonstration, we will only implement the message type for the request. So we navigate back to the Enterprise Services repository. The first thing we're going to have to do is create our own BPS rec customer data type. So we fill in the name, the classification will be an aggregated data type, and we create. As you can see, right now it's still a simple type, it's empty, so we're going to add some sub-elements. First one will be the person name, which we created earlier in our own namespace, in our own software component. So the type will then be in our own namespace person name. You do the same thing for the address, called the physical address. And the type of this element will be physical address, a type we also created earlier in our own namespace. Now the same thing is true for the email. And also for the phone. So now we filled up our own data type in BPS rec customer data, and we save it. Now we go back to our service interface where we see our service operation. And this service operation, being a synchronous operation, has a request, response, and error type. So the request message type is still empty. So now we're going to create a new request message type. BPS rec create request sync. And we want to create that in our own namespace. And then for the response message type, we perform a similar operation. BPS rec create confirmation sync. Now for the error message type, we choose standard message fault, which is a SAP standard type already available. And we're going to create that also within our own namespace. So what we see now is that all the message types within our service operation have been defined. But they're not created yet, so we double click the request message type and the editor proposes to create one. So here we have our message type, which will have to reference our own message data type, which doesn't exist yet. So we're going to create that first. We copy the name of our message type. We add message. So you can see that the type is still in red, so it means the editor doesn't find it yet. So the next thing, we save it. The next thing we will have to do is create our own message data type. For that, we double click the data type. The editor proposes to create one, and here you will have to create our own message data type. As you can see, first it was empty. Now we're gonna add our BPS rec customer data message type to this message data type. And now our message data type is complete. We can save it. Go back to our message type. We can also save it. You see the type is now not red anymore. So when we go back to our service operation, we can create the response message type in the same way. I already did that here. One thing extra I did is add the log element. I copied this log element also from the SAP Global Software Component version, from global data types for use in messages only. And as before, I found it, right click, copy object, and copied it to my own namespace. Then for the error message type, you just have to fill in standard message fault and double click it, and the editor will propose to create it. You see here that by default he already fills in exchange fault data. You double click and the editor also automatically creates this for you. So this concludes the definition of our message types and message data types. So our goal is to create a service interface in the Enterprise Services repository. We modeled all the objects involved. Now we just have to activate the changes to make our service interface and all the other objects available from the ESR. So back in the ESR we choose the second tab, change list. In this change list we see all the objects we modeled. We right click, select activate and start the activation. So now we see that the change lists are empty and all objects have been activated.